So, what you looking at there? Looks like you got a Century catalog.
It's a Century Martial Arts holiday gift guide. Just looking for shoes.
Shoes, you say? Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Mike Takes the Mic, where we ask questions of Headmaster Christopher Dyer here at Reborn Martial Arts. That is Reborn Martial Arts in Northern Virginia. And today, or this episode, we're going to be tackling somewhat of a controversy. I would say we've waded into it, but really, I believe I've
really stepped in it.
Yep. And so, some of you in the comments have expressed opinions about my use of shoes in the dojo, and we're going to hash that out. So, and I believe you did kind of mention this in the comments. You did kind of reply, and the answer was spot on. I'm very much kind of a train how you fight how you train kind of guy. And so it's very unlikely I would be exercising self-defense without my shoes on, so I'm going to train with my shoes. Also, it is protective for my feet for a long time. I held a job that was very physical, believe it or not. And if I had wrecked my feet in the studio, my bosses very well could have said, well, you're not going to go participate in the studio if you're going to injure yourself. So those are two big reasons why I wear the shoes. I also kind of think of them as like gloves for my feet. So you wear gloves when you spar. Why not, train with gloves on your feet?
Yeah, so we talked about this when you first brought up the thing of you got mats. Is it okay to wear shoes? And obviously the answer is yes, they can't be outdoor shoes. Like, I think that's the big thing. I left, as I said in the comments of some of the people, like, some people really took offense. Like, the dojo is a sacred place, blah, 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 blah. And I understand that. Like, I get that. But also understand that there are other things going on, and people have different interpretations of things, how things go. Like, just because a person does something one way in their studio doesn't mean that every studio needs to do it exactly that. Like, I am free to make that decision in my own studio. So we talked about it, and people are absolutely allowed to wear shoes in the studio. I asked that they only wear shoes that are in here, like Mike's shoes live in a corner. And there are other martial arts styles, wrestling, for example. I have, like, in Kung Fu, I wear shoes for training. Like, it would be considered strange to not wear shoes in Kung Fu training. Like, wrestling is another example. You wear wrestling boots. Boxing, for a long time, you wore boxing boots. Do they still wear?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know firearms training,
yeah.
You have to wear shoes.
Yeah, you have to wear shoes in a lot of things. So it is a part of your training in a lot of times. Now, there is an upside downside to it is on mats, if you have really sticky bottoms of your sole, they can stick to the mat more, which actually can run the risk of rotating your knee joint, your ankle, pulling muscles and that sort of thing, because there's not enough give, or there's too much give, I should say. And then the other downside is I never really train with shoes on, just because I don't like wearing shoes. So if you have no shoes on, your partner has shoes on or whatever, then you're at a disadvantage if your partner steps on you or whatever. So I mean, that's a thing, and we understand that, we know that. But for us, it's not such a big deal. Like, it is, modern day training. If you're going to be out walking around in shoes, you should absolutely from time to time train with shoes on. I have in the past had young female students who were going out on town and were curious about using high heels. And so I've done a class with students wearing high heels for them to get a sense. Like, this wasn't on the mats. That even I have my limits on what goes on the mats. But it was a kind of an understanding of, like, your ankles are gonna roll. You're not gonna be able to have your balance. You're not gonna be able to throw your kicks. You're not gonna be able to do stuff, right? So I think it is important to kind of explore and do different things and not be so stuck. People get so stuck in, we can't do it this way because we've always done it this way. We've always X, Y, Z, whatever. And I understand, like, a lot of, like, my Japanese, friends and whatnot, this is appalling. And I get it. Like, I totally get it. It's a cultural thing. We don't have that same culture here. And is it wrong of us not to? We are what we are. So I think that it would be wrong of us not to admit that and to do things our own way. I think that that's the Who would have thought that shoes would have been such a thing? Shoes and blocking, huh?
Well, thanks for your thoughts, and thanks so much for your comments and your questions. We hope that we've kind of shed some light on some of our practices here. And if you like what you see, like, subscribe, watch again maybe. Check out our other videos. And if you're in the area, check us out in Springfield, Virginia at Reborn Martial Arts. Thanks again. Bye.